Would you take a look at that, guys? The markets are absolutely exploding. It's about 3:20 p.m. on the East Coast. The Fed meeting just concluded, the press conference, all that good stuff, and we have the Dow Jones up 1.4%. The Russell's up over 2%. We have SPY up 2.5%. Get ready for this, guys. Get ready for this. The NASDAQ 100 is up not one, not two, not three, but over 4% right now on the day. We're completely breaking out. So in this video, we're going to go over quickly what the Fed meeting, pretty much what came out of that, and some questions that I thought were interesting that Jerome Powell answered. We're going to break that down in this video and just look at how the markets are reacting, individual stocks, all that good stuff. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee. Don't forget to get your 10 stocks from Moomoo and your 6 stocks from Webull, link down below, and let's just dive into the video. So like I said, guys, we are erupting right now. The markets are going crazy. The VIX is down 6%. Metals are probably, actually no, metals are up. Metals are up. Gold's up 1%. Silver's up 3%. I'm sure Bitcoin and Ethereum, and actually, now that I think about it, I haven't even looked at these throughout the day today. They're probably going up a lot right now. Let me double check, guys. Yeah, Bitcoin's up 9%. Ethereum's up 17% on the day, which is nuts. So let's just dive into it. We had interest rates officially raised again by 75 basis points, or in other words, 0.75%, if you guys didn't know. And that happened today, obviously, on Wednesday. And the central bank's move is raising the benchmark overnight borrowing rate up to a range of 2.25 to about 2.5%. And another unusually large increase could be, keyword is could be, and that's from Jerome Powell's mouth himself. Another unusually large increase could be appropriate next meeting based on the data. And he was dodging some questions, and he didn't really say 1 basis point, or rather 100 basis points, but apparently it's not off the table, because he said depending on the data, the future data, and that's how it's been, right? That's how it's been the past however so long in the recent future, not the recent future, the recent past, right? And he was asked, and by the way, guys, we'll talk about SPY and Triple Q here in a second. Let's talk about a question first that was interesting, in my opinion. He was asked, why not a full basis point hike? Why not a full 1%? And you went for the 75 basis point. And, if you guys didn't know, Jerome Powell, the Fed, they're in a pickle, right? They're stuck between a rock, what's that saying, rock and a hard place or something like that. Because if they raise rates too aggressively, that's going to hurt the economy like crazy, right? It's going to cause a recession. It's going to be ugly. But if he raises rates too slowly, it's not going to fight inflation. It's not going to do the job, right? It's going to potentially let inflation run hotter and hotter and hotter. So he's caught in this. And honestly, this is one of the hardest jobs. I would not want this job at all. The scrutiny, you gotta stay in between the lines. It's just a bunch of craziness. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. About a 75 basis point hike, 2.25 to about 2.5%. And he was asked, why not a full basis point hike? They wouldn't, and he said they wouldn't hesitate to make a larger move if appropriate. But it really just comes down to the data. And he said that in this meeting, the meeting that just concluded today, it was not the case in terms of them considering 100 basis point rate hike. So I thought that was interesting. Nothing too crazy, I guess, from the meeting overall. And we will talk about more. We have a couple more topics to cover here in a couple of minutes. But first, let's take a look at SPY, Triple Q, and see what's going on. So with today's breakout, SPY's back over $400. It's actually at 401 when I'm filming. And it officially has taken out the highs from last week. You guys can see last week, SPY was at about 399, very low 400s. Again, now we're above 401, so this is starting to move. It's starting to break out. Now, in the very short term, by the looks of it, as things are right now, we could start our way to probably 410 initially, which you guys can see here, 410 was the high from the middle of May. And if 410 breaks, we could be pushing 415 to about 420, which is the range that SPY was trading in at the end of May, early June. So watch out for the upside, guys. Things are really, really heating up right now. Triple Q, a lot of the same. In fact, it's way more aggressive, right? It's up 4%. But, well, I guess one big difference here is Triple Q has not yet broken the highs from last week. Again, SPY did, Triple Q did not. The highs from last week were 307, and now guess where we are? Right at 307, guys. And this thing's pushing up 4.5% now. Holy crap. So if we break into the 310s, that's where we're going to get a push towards probably 315, maybe even 320 in the short term. So this is looking very hot. Buyers came in right by that 50 SMA. We are ripping, and that's on the 4-hour chart, by the way. This looks fantastic. And by the way, I know a lot of you guys, myself included, we're making a ton of money on paper right now, but we cannot get too excited yet. I'm not trying to sound bearish and bullish and flip-flopping, but just keep in mind, things could always turn, whether it's a week from now, a month from now, who knows? But as of now, based on the sentiment from the Fed, we're kind of nearing a potential end at this point. Well, we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. The markets are seeing a bit of relief, but don't get too excited. Don't, jump and party like everything is over, because it might not be over yet. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about the Fed, right? What ended up happening. So they're looking to go to 3.25 to 3.5, as that is, in their mind, more restrictive. And I think they actually said 3% to 3.5%. And again, that is more restrictive. And some members, according to Jerome Powell, want 50 basis points higher than that for the Fed funds rate. We're talking for maybe even higher than that, 4 percentage points. So that means, in other words, and this is why the markets are probably getting excited, at least one of the reasons, that, we could be wrapping up the hikes here in the next couple of meetings. And that's something that was kind of expected. I mean, this is nothing that's new or out of the blue, but to hear it come out of Powell's mouth, that is, I guess, a good sign. I'd say that's a pretty good sign. But who knows? If the markets throw us a curveball, the economy, inflation gets worse, I mean, that's out the window. That is why this is very data dependent. I mean, every day the data changes, every week, every month. So things could change. That's why I'm saying, watch out, guys. Don't get too excited yet, even though the markets are doing pretty well right now. So they're looking to get, again, 3.25, 3.5. Some committee members wanted higher than that, whatever, and that is restrictive according to them. And he was asked, and this is, we're going to wrap it up with this question here, guys. He was asked, and by the way, go watch the press conference. There's a lot more information than what I'm briefly covering in this little YouTube video. But he was asked, do you think we're in a recession? Well, the U.S., he said, I forget who asked him this, but they said, do you think the U.S. is in a recession? And he said, first and foremost, right off the bat, I do not think the U.S. is in a recession. Too many areas of the economy are performing well, and that makes sense. That is a pretty solid argument. The unemployment rate, then he started going into the labor market. Unemployment rate is low. Wage measures they use are strong. 2.7 million people were hired in the first half of the year. These are solid points, and I'm not going to lie. If we were in a recession, it would be an unusual recession, considering unemployment rates very low, labor market appears strong, according to these numbers. It'd be unusual. But the second we start getting the massive, we are starting to get some layoffs. If this gets way worse, unemployment rate starts ripping, then we're going to be in a recession, I guess, according to Mr. Jerome Powell, right, guys? So, yeah, that's what's going on. A lot of stocks are moving. Let me know your thoughts on everything down below in the comments. As always, I'd love to know what you guys think. We have Coinbase up 13% today. We have PayPal. I mean, like I said, a lot of us on paper in our long-term accounts, maybe trading accounts, maybe not on paper. Those would be realized gains, right, if you lock in your profits. But a lot of us on paper right now, long-term wise, we're making a lot of money today. I mean, PayPal's up 13% on the day. This is one of my long-term investments. And even here on the short term, it's getting to a point where we're now getting to the top of this, or a big resistance at about 88, 90 bucks. If we take that out, ascending triangle plays out, and we have earnings coming up, I think next week or later this week. It looks like next week. Maybe this ends up breaking out. This could be setting up for a big move considering how beaten down PayPal is. Stocks like Shopify, which we covered in my earlier video, they reported earnings this morning. This is up 12%. Square's up 9%. Snowflake, Google, guys, my biggest individual stock. Talk about a move. This thing is up 8.3% today. What can I say? Big, big day for Google and all of big tech. Meta's up a lot. And mind you guys, Meta is after the bell, so make sure to subscribe. We're going to make another video here. Probably I'm going to film it in about an hour after the earnings roll out. We have a lot of earnings after the bell again, so make sure to subscribe. Meta's up 7% heading into earnings. This is going to be very, very interesting. We have stocks like Microsoft up 7%. Tesla's up 6.5%, pushing for the mid-800s. Look at that. That is pretty wild. If this takes out the highs from about a week ago, 850, Tesla could be back over 900 like that. So with that being said, I don't want to keep you all too long because my next video will probably be longer. So I'll see you guys later. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Join my Patreon. Get your 10 stocks from Moomoo and your 6 stocks from Webull. All those free stocks are linked down below. And just know, guys, those links help out the channel. I appreciate you all as always. So with that being said, cheers. I will catch you in the next video. Good luck on the markets for the rest of today. Peace out.